generalizations that I hate out here, one of the generalizations you hear all the time is loser back home. So you move to Asia, not just here in Thailand, in Japan, in Korea. This idea that anyone who has an interest in another country, in living in another country, experiencing another culture, etc., the only reason they're doing it is because they can't smash that 9-to-5 life back in the UK. They can't hit it out of the park, find themselves a wife, etc. So they have to come out to Asia for these white, thirsty women. Can't get any women back home. It's very high schooly, in my opinion. I also think social media is very high schooly as well. People slagging people off, people judging people, people attacking people. You've got your cool kids, you've got your geeks, etc. I wasn't the coolest kid in high school. The coolest kids in high school where I'm from are the ones who are smoking top back. Yeah, mate, pass us a cig. Yeah, you got a spare cig, you got a light, you got a light. They were the cool kids where I was from. They were the ones snogging each other. They were the ones having the parties. They're so desperate to be invited, but I just didn't make the cut back then. But then something happened with me personally. I grew up and I found a bit of aura. And people aren't going to like that. You arrogant bastard, you absolute arrogant bastard. I always had the confidence in me. I just never really fed into it in high school. It's not that me and my friends were losers. Like, our school was pretty straight sailing in that regard. You start to get a bit older, you find a bit of aura. And in many ways, it's up to you how you use that aura. Now, you've got your guys who go out at the weekend in England. Oh, I've smashed 900 girls. Never really one of those guys. When I was out with my boys when I was younger, I was interested in having fun. And sometimes in a bit of a dickhead way, you know, we used to challenge each other to do things, you know, embarrass ourselves for the entertainment of others. But as you grow up, you've got to mature a little bit. You've got to adapt to the different stages of life. Let's fast forward to when I moved to Korea, 2012. I was in that aura stage, the sort of stage where, you know, you walk into a club, for example, or a bar, and it doesn't mean you're the superstar, you're the focus of attention, but you've got a bit of confidence about you that, you know, people are curious, particularly the opposite sex. That's not arrogant, lads. If you don't have that, then you're failing. You've got to develop that skill. I'm not saying the skill to pull, to go out, to smash and whatnot. I'm talking about the skill to be confident enough in yourself, confident enough to go out, confident enough to go start a conversation, to be thinking, I provide something here. I provide some value, whether it be some comedy, some intellect, a good little bit of banter, as we Brits call it. If you're not confident enough to hold your own in a conversation, not just with women, but with the same sex too, just a regular conversation, then I think you've kind of missed the trick at a certain age. So I never had any issue going out and chatting to people, getting to know people, whatever. But one thing I did have an issue with is handling my alcohol.
You ready to let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who brought this guy?
I get excited, I get excitable in different situations. Big night out, I'll be looking forward to it for days. Walking into a social space, sexy chicks all around me and my boys looking suave. I spent the whole day preparing. I've groomed my beard perfectly. I've ironed my clothes, got my favorite aftershave on. Those are some of the best times of my life, and I could have those times whoever I was with. As long as I was with people I was vibing with, I was getting along with, it really didn't matter to me who I was out with, because I was always capable of making the most of a situation and having a good time. What you do see in Asia sometimes is people who I think lack those skills for whatever reason. And I don't think it makes them losers. I just think maybe their situation back home was that they were a quieter person, maybe they're an introvert, maybe they want to be going out and having that type of fun, or maybe they just don't enjoy it. Maybe they are out in Korea, out in Japan for a completely different reason to most other people. Thailand, I think, is a bit different because there are certain demographics of foreigners who are out here for very much one specific reason. We know who we're talking about, and you know, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it feeds into something much darker and less healthy. Since the first day I moved out here, I must have made, realistically, 500 to 1,000 new friends. long-term impactful friends, I could count on one hand, but 500 to 1,000 new friends. And do I think any of them align and vibe with me exactly the way my friends from home do? No, of course not. But I think once you get to a certain age, you stop making friends like that. Once the thing about high school, all those earlier periods of life is you're in a forced, enclosed situation for so long that you're going to have time to develop friendships. You don't have to force friendships. You don't have to force friendships based on the fact that you're in the same expat group or you were in the same intake of for your company or whatever. You don't have to force those friendships. They can develop organically. And that's why for me, most of the people I know, their best friends are the ones they met in high school, are the ones that they met in university. But I feel like I was very lucky to meet a really cool group of people that we just sort of clicked, and we've been best friends now for getting on 25 years. Sort of scattered all over the place at the moment. We have been for the last 15 years, so I don't get to see them that much. But it doesn't mean that the friendship ever disappears. Sometimes it's just on pause, and then it can reignite with the press of a button, usually a WhatsApp button. So for the people who are coming out here without that foundation, without that, lifelong group of friends that they can always bounce upon, that they can always lean on, that they can always sort of go back to on a whim whenever they need to, whether it be for a serious conversation, a little bit of fun, a little bit of banter. If you don't have that and you've never developed those social skills per se, where you don't find it easy to speak to people, doesn't mean you're a fucking loser moving to Asia. I don't think there's any more losers in the expat population out here than there is back home doing nothing with their life. At least the people who have the guts to move abroad, to make that change, to not watch from afar, to actually live the life that they want to live. At least they've got the bollocks to do it, to actually make it happen. So I think if you are one of those people who are labeling, whether you think they're only going out here because they can't get high quality British meat back home, so they need to come and get the Asian variety, fair play to them. If that's what they want, that's what they want. It's no one's fucking business. I think the real losers in this situation are not those who are making shit happen in life, but the ones who are watching other people make shit happen in their lives and getting all wound up about it.